Wilds, you might hate this one. Just letting you know. Superhero or civilian? That's the question for these four teams.
I mean, not bad.
None of these four teams have good enough rosters to compete for a championship with a civilian quarterback. And all of these teams hope their young quarterback is going to be a superhero. Now, Justin Herbert's not that young anymore. Jordan Love's not that young, but he's young experience-wise. But that's the question. We all know we know three of these teams have good quarterbacks, and we think the Broncos probably do. We need to see a little more from Bo Nix. But the question is, do they have that force multiplier coach is always talking about? That's what will determine their ceiling for next year.
So I'm not doing this whole thing because it's kind of like, you know, if you guys really want me to, I will. But, like, I don't know. What am I supposed to talk about? Where to put the Patriots? Are the Patriots above the Seahawks? You know, like, I mean, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't land for me personally. But this is what landed for me. The superhero or civilian. The fact that we're now going to question, because to be very clear, what we mean by civilian is just kind of like, nah, not that good of a quarterback. You know, he's a quarterback, of course, because he's in the NFL, but no. That's who Justin Herbert has been reduced down to. That's who Bo Nix. And I get it, Bo Nix is a rookie, but Bo Nix played awesome as a rookie on a non-stacked team. Bo Nix put the Denver Broncos on his back multiple times. Bo Nix played awesome in Arrowhead on the road as a rookie with a roster that Nick would say is clearly inferior, as we can just see by rankings. And yet, Bo Nix led them that what should have been a victory. No fault of his own. That's not being a superhero? I don't know, man. I don't know. And Justin Herbert has been holding the Chargers together, again, with duct tape and scotch tape. Like, what do you want him to be able to do with the roster or the coaching staff that he had been given over his entire career? He finally has the real coach. Now it's time for them to build up that roster, but he's supposed to just magically be able to just win with his number one target being a rookie slot receiver, second round pick. Like, what? Just doesn't make sense. CJ Stroud plays this whole year. He was awesome year one. Year two, had no O-line, was pressured non-stop. Was literally top 5 in pressures. Dealing with a million injuries. Having his weapons go in and out of the lineup. In his second year, with a young offensive coordinator who struggled to figure out how to game plan when you don't have your stars. When you have a star one game and don't have a star the next game. When you have a bad O-line. And now we're going to question how good of a player CJ Stroud is? I don't know, man. Jordan Love. Jordan Love is the closest one that I can understand. He is the closest one that I can understand. Truly. But again, banged up himself, missing multiple games, having to leave a game, having to deal with also a roster that had players in and out of the lineup, who had to just kind of let it rip to try to, win his way, who had, quite frankly, from my viewpoint, questionable game plans in a brutal division. And we're just going to we're going to reduce him to potentially being a civilian. Do you want to call him reckless? Sure. I don't even necessarily agree with that, but we can say, is he reckless? Sure. But lots of superheroes can be reckless. Superheroes be smashing buildings all the time. They be smashing buildings all the time. But I don't think we're going to now go jump and just say civilian. We know who some quarterbacks are considered a civilian. And the already highs that we've seen out of all 4 of these quarterbacks is already putting them in. They've already shown to be superheroes in moments. Now, again, if you want to question how often can they be superheroes, I think that's totally fair. That's totally fair and understandable. But to question whether or not they joined, that they belong to that club, come on, man. No. No. I'm tempted to just cut this up into 4 different videos, focusing on CJ Stroud, focusing on Herbert, Love, and Bo Nix. And I may do that. I may just revisit this one little clip and then make a whole CJ Stroud video, a whole Herbert video, depending on how this video, I guess, does, if people like it or not. Especially because there's not really a lot of content around the Denver Broncos right now, or, the Houston Texans. So I may do that. But I just kind of wanted to just give a general glance because I think it's, it's a unique mix of these 4 teams and these 4 quarterbacks. Which is why I'm focusing more on the title itself, the superhero or civilian, and not where those teams are ranked. Because where they rank right now, again, it means nothing. We have to try to figure out, are the Broncos better than the Green Bay Packers? Should the Broncos deserve to be above the Packers or not? It's like, who cares? Do Packers and Broncos fans even care right now? Or are they going to be like, dude, who cares? The season's over. We lost. We're done. On the next year. Are fans really going to be fighting? Our team was better than your team. And it's like, well, you both lost in the playoffs. And they're going to be like, yeah, but we were better than you. And it's like, okay, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know if this is going to be the last tiers. I don't know, because then I think they do a lot of times, usually going into Super Bowl weekend, or just those 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, they'll do historic or whatever. I know last year they did for the Mahomes Mount, all that, they just did all-time great quarterbacks and did those rankings. I don't remember if they did anything like that with the teams. I think comparing eras is brutally difficult and just not even worth it. But again, specifically for Texans, Chargers, Packers, and Broncos fans, I wanted to highlight this because I'm very confident that all 4 of those fan bases very much believe in their quarterback. Do they have some concerns? Do they have some questions? Sure, of course. But I think there's a lot of faith and belief in those 4 quarterbacks. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about those 4 teams, those 4 quarterbacks? Do you think it's fair to question whether or not they are superheroes or civilians? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.